Oh no,
What's that?
our music stopped.
You better start it again. Oh, there
we go.
it goes.
Yeah. Well, Sarah,
How was
what'd you
your
do this
weekend?
weekend?
How was your weekend?
It was good.
You were at the beach?
It was.
And it was warm?
I can't say this is the first time
That you've been at the beach?
Well, no, but it's been way
a
too
long time since
I don't
you
know if
left
you saw that
Calaveras
little piece
County.
that I did this morning that about my conscience.
No.
You didn't see that.
Your Jiminy Cricket?
My conscience, yes. And my wife is like my conscience that I should have been listening to more than I have.
Oh, okay. So you had a good weekend with your conscience and your two consciencettes.
Well, it was the
children.
kids. You know, it was a great time. Basically, it was there's camping and then there's tent camping.
Yeah.
This was tent camping where you hauled everything in on a wagon.
Oh.
And basically, you camped in the middle of the desert.
Field.
Yes, in the middle of a field.
Well, that's what beach camping's all about, though.
I think so.
Typically. Unless you're actually camping on the beach. Then that's a different type of beach camping than dirt beach camping.
I think so.
Yes.
Welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. My name is John.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is really an honor. It really is, because we're doing something kind of fun.
Tonight,
because we are now broadcasting live online.
Yes.
And also on Comcast Channel 7.
Yes, exactly.
And it's and this is, for a lot of you, this is probably your first view of what we do here.
Us.
Yes, and now Sarah you're probably very familiar with from all her work on community cable. But we actually have been doing the nightly news for the last 3 months.
Exactly.
Online. And we try to have a little fun with it. Now, the bumper music that you hear now is from Project Gutenberg. And if you're not familiar with Project Gutenberg, it is a collection of basically out-of-copyright ebooks, wonderful music such as this from the turn of the century.
Readings,
poetry,
literature, readings.
And this one is actually the 5th Regiment March.
Just to get
us in the mood for news, right?
That's right. So we can march on forward.
Yeah. And we'll
with the Calaveras County News.
Yes.
Exactly.
And also, here's our sign. This
We're
is Calaveras
official.
County News.
We are official.
Now, heretofore, we've added a little bit of embellishment to that, right? That we're the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. And
exactly.
Ed Lark thought that was a little much. That we should just be the Calaveras Nightly News.
He's the manager at Public Access, and he has quite a large and respectable resume.
Yes, he does. And ours is growing, but it's not respectable.
Ours is a little shorter.
And now that we've shown the sign a little bit, I'm going to have to move on camera a little bit so you can you can see here a little more.
So you can say you've seen the sign.
Yes, you've seen the sign. It's the Calaveras Nightly News.
You know where you are.
And we're going to be here Monday through Friday.
Exactly. Every night at 5:30.
Every night at 5:30. How the format will work is we'll tell you a little bit about Monday night's usually a bit of a weekend wrap-up, a little bit of a prep for Board of Supervisors.
Exactly.
Thursday nights is usually our entertainment edition, where we get to tell you what to do, right?
Exactly.
Now, this is the only time, professionally or personally, that I get to tell people what.
And they listen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's up to you, actually. That's your prerogative, your choice. So. Anyway.
Well.
So here we are. Yes,
anyway, well, thank you for joining us again. And this weekend was a busy one.
It was busy. There were the duck races
and
Murphy's.
the promenade and Murphy's.
Absolutely. And those...
the concert in Ironstone. The big ones.
The ducks actually benefited the Murphy's Library.
The library.
And they had 5 heats.
5 heats of ducks.
5 heats of ducks. And any of you that have been watching these duck races through the years know that this is increasing through the years. There's more and more people coming and supporting the local library, which is a good thing.
And we spoke with Michelle Plotnick this afternoon, and she's one of the directors for the Murphy's Business Association. And she said the traffic counts were up, so the town was busy, the park was busy, the music was good, and
it was a good time.
It was. It was. And it was, Murphy's really shines on events like this.
It does.
You know, it's
actually.
that slice of Americana. You know,
Yes,
it's
it
that
is.
Buggy Bill trotting by in the background, and all the the ducks and stuff.
That's
it's
right.
and also there was some good concerts in Ironstone.
That's right. Gretchen Wilson was out there
Yes.
on Saturday night, and she's fabulous. I mean, she's a big name
Yes.
in country western music. She's a huge name.
And we talked to a couple people that went to. They got there a little late for Gretchen Wilson, but they did go to John Michael Montgomery.
Oh, how was he? Because he's another big name in country
and
western
they
music.
really enjoyed him. They really
Okay.
enjoyed his music. So,
Okay.
you know, and
Then
Leonard Skinner last
was
night.
last
So-
night. Mm-hmm.
So basically, you just kind of mill around Murphy's all weekend,
That's right.
right?
That's right. This weekend was definitely Murphy's weekend.
Yeah. But also there was the Alpine Fishing Derby, Lake Alpine Fishing Derby, if you want to go up the hill and do that. And also, I guess, speaking of music and stuff, this week
Yes.
we're probably going to start featuring more Bear Valley music stuff
That's
as we're
right.
getting ready to go.
The tents
up
are
there.
going up,
Yep.
and the Bear Valley Music Festival starts
Saturday
this weekend.
night.
Absolutely.
And we're
they
going to
always-
try...
I was going to say they always have a wide variety of offerings for people.
They do.
From the operatic to sort of pop music
Yeah.
sometimes. So they're definitely worth looking into, seeing who's playing up there, and it's not that far up the hill
No.
to drive up there.
And we are going to try to broadcast at least one nightly news from
That's
Bear
right.
Valley Music Festival.
Valley
So we're going
Music
to try to
Festival.
drag some people on camera,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be completely random.
We're
People will
sitting in
just
the
be
tent by
walking.
ourselves.
People will just happen to be walking by. We'll
That's
just
right.
grab them and one.
Get them on camera,
Yeah.
get their impressions and their feelings about the music
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah.
Or anything else they want to share with us.
You know, another
Yes.
couple things that's kind of fun this coming weekend is this is going to be the official opening of the zip lines at Moaning Caverns.
Yes.
They're going to be 1,500-foot, those zip lines. Are you going to go
Those
do
are a
those?
little scary.
No?
Are you going to do it?
I don't know. I might strap a camera to my head.
And like the British policeman?
Yes. Anything for some
for-
footage.
exactly,
We'll just strap a camera to my
exactly.
head and take off. And well, why not, right?
You could. You
Yeah.
could. Yes, but you look for that. Well, I'll look for that.
Yes.
Actually, so there's actually a lot of really interesting things coming up, and this last weekend was really busy.
It was. Now, speaking of busy, we have the Board of Soups for tomorrow.
Board of Soups is
Now,
going to be
tomorrow
very
is
busy
going
tomorrow.
to be a busy. It is going to be Community
Development
Day.
Agency
It
Day
really
at
will
the Board
be.
of Supervisors. 2 public hearings, one for an assessment ballot for county services area for Golden Hills subdivision, and then another public hearing actually for Wallace Lake Estates Unit 2 for their tentative subdivision tract map. So if you have any concerns or questions about those 2 particular issues, good thing to do is go to
And
the
isn't
Board of
that-
Soups at
Isn't that little
9:30.
tiny development back on the agenda for tomorrow? That little tiny
That's
one?
what I'm getting to, the little itsy bitsy
The
one.
little itty bitty
Little
one.
itsy
Yeah, the
bitsy
little
one.
itty bitty
But that's not a public comment one. These are just public comments
okay.
at 9:30.
All right. Okay.
At 10 o'clock are actually general plan amendments that the board will discuss. The first one will be a zoning amendment for the Ebbets Pass Fire District. As most of you know, they have actually now moved into Station 1.
Right.
And this is for their old property, actually.
On Moran, isn't
on
it?
Moran, for a general plan amendment to change the zoning to allow the property to be zoned from a, let's see, public service parcel
Right.
to a residential parcel.
Now, is that the parcel where they have the fire station on Moran now?
I believe it is.
So they can
I
add
believe
some.
it is, because it's up for sale.
Oh, it is.
Yes. They were selling it.
Well, the old station
Old
number
station.
1, yeah. But
Yeah,
I
the
think
old
that's
station
Moran.
number
I
1.
think that's the one down by Pinebrook.
Could be.
I think so. That one is.
Could
I don't
be.
know. Don't know.
So,
See, and you'll find that on the news here, instead of that staid and orderly transition between anchors, we just kind of run
roll
over
back
each
and
other.
forth, back
and
and
if it really
forth,
gets heated, we'll
exactly.
just start elbowing.
that's
You know,
right.
that's
right. That's when we start to actually, that's when it looks really interesting. But the big thing actually is the Tuscany Hills project is back
Yeah.
on the agenda. It was continued from a couple weeks ago. Tentative subdivision tract map is slated to be approved. And why this is a huge project is because it's 334 single-family homes down there on Lake Tulloch, private golf course, marina, and it encompasses 1,113 acres, which is a whole lot of land.
Now, we think our development, this is a big development for us in Calaveras County. Did you see the one that was in Placer County last week?
I didn't.
They approved one in Placer for 14,000 homes.
That's not surprising.
14,000 homes. And they estimate that it's going to build out to like 45,000 people that it's going to add in this one development.
I'm not surprised at all.
That's just huge.
I mean, the population of California
so it's going to add Calaveras County with this one development.
Exactly. It could encompass Calaveras County in that one development.
Yeah, I mean, all of us in Calaveras County, we're just going to
move over to Placer County. Yeah. No, I'm thinking no. No, I'm thinking not. But also, there's actually going to be a town hall in San Andreas.
Yeah, that's in some way that may be the busiest thing tomorrow, because that's actually where they're going to discuss. Well,
it's general plan issues, and this is a biggie because it will discuss whether or not to include community plans in the general plan.
And there's opinions on this.
And there's a lot of opinions on this. Those of you who have been following community plans through the years and also the general plan updates through the years know that there are a lot of community plans in this county that a lot of people in those communities have put together because they want to have a voice to what their community looks like. So this is actually a really big town hall because they will be essentially taking input as to whether to use those community plans in the general plan.
But I guess one of the things, though, is if you start tacking too many things onto the general plan, it's never going to get done.
Well, this would just fold it in.
Okay.
I mean, it would fold these community plans in, and there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work and money that goes into these community plans. Most of them are already set up.
Okay.
Some of them are very old.
Yeah.
But most of them are already in place, and you can take elements of those community plans and fold them into the general plan, or you can take them wholesale and put them in the general plan.
Okay.
So there are different ways actually to get those elements into the general plan. So that will be up for discussion as well. So if you're concerned about the general plan and what your community looks like and maybe your own community plan, this is definitely the town hall to go to. And that's actually at 1:30 p.m. at the San Andreas Town Hall in San Andreas.
Anything else on the agenda jump out at you?
There was nothing else that jumped out at me.
Nothing else, huh?
It is Community Development Day at the Board of Chiefs tomorrow.
Well, Josh Hecox is being honored for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout.
That's true.
I mean, that's got a rank up there somewhere.
That jumps out at you. Were you a Boy Scout?
No, I wasn't.
Maybe that's why it jumped out at you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made Eagle Scout
at all. That's a Boy Scout.
It's just
exactly.
It wouldn't have worked. Yeah.
It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked. But also got other little things around the news. Did you see that? I thought this was funny. There was an article in the Union Democrat saying that Calaveras County has the most historical markers.
Really?
Yeah. Katie Brandenburg wrote a piece. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's kind of interesting little. I think it's kind of interesting as a little discussion topic.
There are a lot of markers here in Calaveras County,
and
they're dotted all over the county. They really are.
And I thought it was kind of an interesting thing. And this is...
Well, it's a very historical county, and actually that's one of the elements that people want to add into the general plan is an historical element that will protect all those historical aspects of the county that are so important up here.
Yeah. Let's see. Here it is. I know it's here.
He's looking.
I'm looking. Here we go. One thing Calaveras County offers visitors in abundance, besides wine tasting and outdoor recreation, is history.
Yes.
In fact, Calaveras County has 42 state historical markers, more than any other county in California. So we roughly have 1 per 1,000, right?
Yes, that's about right. Although our population is growing, so that will
so we need some more markers
diluted.
to keep that. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
It's a very well written piece. Now, Katie Brandenburg, she writes for and she does a very nice job.
She does.
And if you ever see her on the street, say hi to her because she moved here from
But she's leaving now.
That's true. I think she's going to be a school teacher.
She wants to be a school teacher.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens with the new reporters.
Yes.
The new crop of reporters.
And for tomorrow, if you're not familiar with us here on the Pine Tree, we will have the Board of Supervisors meeting available for rebroadcast and streaming probably on Wednesday in the evening. And depending on the length of it, they'll probably have it on Channel 9 probably, tomorrow night?
Exactly.
So, but for those of you who are not Comcast customers and need to get your Board of Supervisor fix, there you go.
Exactly. Now, state news.
State news.
I'm just going
they get a budget? No?
This is how it seems. This is actually a headline from the LA Times. This is how it seems. The State Assembly Speaker, Nunez, which is not actually in the copy there, uncorked 2 bottles of very expensive wine as legislative leaders sat around negotiating a budget deal. They got a little buzz on and decided to go out and mug some blind, disabled, and elderly poor. That's not exactly what happened, probably, but it's close enough to be cataloged as nonfiction. So there's a headline for you. There's another headline down a little further that I'd like to read as well. And it takes a little way, it'll take a little time for me to get down here. But it was actually kind of interesting that there's more people now using their cell phones as their primary line.
Right.
And what's happening is that in the state health departments, where they need a lot of data from people, is that they're having a hard time getting in touch with people on their cell phones, or even finding people because people are using cell phones instead of landlines.
You mean as far as 911 calls and that type of stuff?
No, not 911 calls, just sort of data gathering phone calls. Because what the state departments do is they call constituents, certain blocks of people.
And those blocks could be anywhere.
And the cell phones are making it a little difficult, actually, for them to get in touch with these people. Also, another headline which I thought was really interesting, this was from the Ventura Star. Local doctors are opting out of insurance-based medicine.
Just going to cash?
Spend more time caring for patients, make more money, leverage insurance companies further out of the picture. The formula can seem like a cancer cure to doctors battling the malignant 1-2 punch of cuts in insurance reimbursements and the need to see more patients to earn the same income. So that's something to actually think about. And then the last one I thought was very interesting was apparently group therapy is not a boost to cancer survivors after all.
Huh.
And in a paper published today in Cancer, the Journal of the American Cancer Society, Dr. David Spiegel said he was unable to duplicate results of a famous study he conducted 30 years ago that actually showed women in group therapy survived twice as long as those who were not in therapy. Spiegel's recent research, which studied 122 women who had metastatic breast cancer, showed no statistical difference in survival times between participants in group therapy.
Don't you think there was still value for the groups?
I think definitely. I think there's definitely value. Yeah, there's definitely emotional value, spiritual value, but it's very interesting that the survival rate isn't affected by that.
Yeah.
So those are the state headlines, the interesting state headlines.
Well, I thought it was kind of interesting on the national scene, because these debate stuff is kind of, they're saying debate fatigue is already setting in some ways.
Yeah.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Now, how was this YouTube? What was this YouTube debate? How did that one work?
Let's see. Let me get back up here to my little notes up here. Let's see.
The CNN YouTube debate. The
CNN YouTube debate, which was, the first, obviously, of its kind. And let's see.
Well, I think the questions were kind of interesting enough. I mean, it was like for Barack Obama. I mean, his was obviously a little hard-edged. I mean, some of the questions that came out were basically, are you black enough? And then for Hillary, it was, are you woman enough? So I think some of the questions had a little bit of an edge.
But those questions have been floating around for quite a few weeks now.
Right.
I mean, with the candidates attacking one another and that type of thing. So, but when you start an election cycle this early, You're going to get fatigued very, very early.
Yeah, it's going to be
But the fact
ugly.
that the internet has now gained a validity,
yes,
so that it's actually being dragged into the election process is a fascinating thing in itself, especially when you look at the content at YouTube.
yes.
If you actually look at YouTube, the content. So.
I think, but also I think for little things that we're trying to do here. For example, we're live now. We're one of the first news broadcasts that I know of that's streaming live online and regular
television.
TV at the same time.
Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
They're going from TV to the web, but we're going from the web to television.
And one of the things we hope to do here is we hope to, as is going forward, is things like debates and things like that. And for example, if we can get a network connection, for example, the Bret Hart Theater, then we'd be able to push you a debate. For example, like the Lundgren and Durston debate. That would be a perfect one that we could push you live from there, do a little more live broadcasting.
Exactly.
So, because we're a small county, we're never going to have full-blown broadcast TV. So,
yes,
we're here to hopefully fill a small void.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Now, what did you do this weekend? You went to Reno?
I went to Reno. I saw Joan Osborne.
Now, who's Joan Osborne?
She was the one who sang in the mid-'90s. She has sort of a Janis Joplin voice before Janis Joplin destroyed her voice with alcohol.
Right.
And whatever
and
else Janis Joplin was doing. Yes, exactly.
She kind of killed the whole enchilada.
Eventually she did. But Joan Osborne sang the What If God Was One of Us song.
Okay.
And she was just fabulous. I would recommend seeing her to anybody. Doesn't matter what kind of music you like either. She's just really, really good. And you went camping.
I went camping. I'm still removing dirt from different crevices.
Oh!
Because we're just basically in the middle of a dirt field. But it was fun. It was one of those camping things. It was one of those things where basically tent camping where you had to have a wagon and pull all of your everything in.
Well, it's kind of like up country in the winter time. People come up to their cabins and they have their snowmobiles,
right? And
they have to take everything from the highway to the cabin on snowmobiles. So it's sort of the same concept except colder and colder.
That's
cleaner and colder. Okay. Okay, but you had a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good.
It really was. There was a couple. Let's see. Let me pull these up here real quick because we have these up. I don't think they're up on the site yet.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where is it? Come on. There we go. There was a couple traffic accidents this weekend, and there was several. There was several around the county. And this is the big one from Friday. Actually, was the overturned big rig.
Yes.
And the overturned big rig on Highway 49, and there was airlifted out of there. Let's see. Uh-oh, we got dead air, Sarah. We can't have dead air, can we?
Well, you're supposed to be looking at your little notes there.
A couple accidents. If you want to see the details on that, we'll have the accident reports posted.
Yes.
We'll post those on the site. And
those are from the weekend.
Those are from the weekend. And
today.
Traditionally, I guess, in lots of times, I guess we should probably explain ourselves better tonight because we've been broadcasting on our website for the last few months, we assume that people know where to go find stuff.
Exactly.
Right? And
That's true.
most of these people probably won't. They're like,
so
who are these
you
people?
go to the pinetree.net.
We do go to pinetree.net, and we do a news website for Calaveras County.
Exactly.
And normally we try for like accident reports, different things like that. We'll post the whole report.
So you can
we'll
actually
try not to
read
editorialize it. If you want to just see the
official
report as
report.
we get them, we will do it that way.
Exactly.
So we will have those set out there
so
for you.
So you can read it yourself and decide what you think about it.
Yeah.
You'll see. There's no intermediary.
No.
Telling you, what the story was. You can think of it yourself. So.
And we also, I think, the fun kind of thing that we've had with online is we know a lot of you are right here in Calaveras County, with also some in Amador County, which we're really exciting to have you on. But we've been kind of fun because on our newscast we've had viewers from
We
all
have
over the
viewers
place.
from everywhere.
All over-
Australia, Bangor, Maine, and we just have viewers from absolutely everywhere.
It's kind of fun. And
Which
tonight
is
was kind of
fun
a
thing.
get to know, introduce ourselves. But I think I've actually been a little bit nervous tonight.
Were you?
It's like, yeah, because this is a new thing, a different audience, and now
That's true. That's true.
But we'll get loosened up, and it'll be really interesting once we really get loosened up, right?
Why, yes, it will.
Yeah.
You'll stick around just for the entertainment value, I tell
We
you.
hope.
Yes.
We hope.
But is it time for weather? We also
Not
give
quite.
you weather every night.
We are running about, and see, the other thing that we're going to have to get a little bit used to as we go from, on cable will be to a hard half hour.
That's right.
Right? And on the web, you can just be kind of lazy because you can go until you feel like stopping, and then
Exactly.
you stop, right?
That's the theory, anyway. The web is a different animal.
It is.
So.
Now, I guess we've got a couple minutes left. Did you want to tell what's happening over there in Britain? Is this global warming?
I don't know. What is global warming?
They're all flooding over
They're
there.
flooding.
Now,
No, we won't talk about that.
we won't talk about that?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, I mean,
Well, you can
see,
talk about it if
Sarah
you like.
is kind of a transplanted wannabe Anglophile type of...
No, I'm not
No?
an Anglophile.
I know
I'm
that.
genetically British by my background. How's that? I am actually an American who was born here with English parents. That's what that's all about. So people call me English.
They call you English,
They call me English. They
English.
say I'm English, but I'm actually American.
but you have that
But
whole
I'm
dual...
genetically, yeah, I have
You have
the
that
whole
whole
dual
dual-
nationality and the whole thing, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And a couple things on the national news that I thought were kind of interesting today is they say $100 oil may be months away. Oof.
That'll be
Oof.
interesting for all those truck
$100
drivers out there.
oil. And the UK floods are the worst in modern history.
Yes, but what is modern history?
Well, to them, it's like the past 700 years, isn't it?
Let's see. Let's see about
Don't they consider
this.
that
See,
modern history?
He brings things like this up, and then when I ask him a pointed question, he's like, 700 years.
Well, no, I mean, they... Because there was a book, I don't know how many of you've read this.
Yes,
It was
now the
Churchill
British
wrote-
Isles are going to sink into the ocean.
Yes, but
Like
I mean,
all those little South Sea islands
Well, I
that
mean,
are sinking into
okay.
the ocean, apparently.
I don't know how many people have read the book, The History of the English-Speaking Peoples, by Churchill,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
And that book starts in roughly 1400.
Yes.
So, right?
Sure. Yes.
And also, I guess, okay, we got 3 minutes left. I guess we better go to news, go to weather. Huh? Did you get anything up there?
Just says the major rivers, the Avon and the Severn, have burst their banks. That's all.
Yeah. So lots of flooding going on. And also, since for our loyal viewer in Bangor, Maine, we usually, in our weather broadcast, we usually try to touch on the local weather, but then also we cover weather for Bangor, Maine.
Yes, we do.
Because for our loyal viewer in Bangor, they need to know the weather before they go out and set the crab pots,
That's
the lobster pots. They've
That's
got to
right,
know
they do.
when to do it. So, Maine will start off our weather for tonight. And today it's 75 degrees with a low of 59. 80 raining tomorrow with rain. No lightning though.
No lightning, that's
no lightning,
good.
that's good because last week we were really
There was
concerned
some
because
lightning,
so they didn't want them to get out there with their rigging.
Exactly.
It's, we don't want
You don't want
anybody
to
to
set
have
the lobster pots in lightning conditions.
you just don't. It's just
Exactly.
low of 60 and Wednesday high of 88 with a low of 60 and Thursday a high of 89 with a low of 63.
Sounds
nice
like our
weather. Yeah, it
Sounds
does.
like
Nice
our
weather in Bangor, Maine.
Exactly. And in Arnold, actually, Tuesday, 84 degrees, Wednesday, 87 degrees, and Thursday, mostly sunny, at 88 degrees. And what's going on in Bear Valley?
Bear Valley is, now as you get ready for the music festival.
Mm-hmm.
There's got a little bit of thunderstorms up there. Did you see
That's
that?
true.
Tonight, 20% chance of isolated thunderstorms with a low of 55. High tomorrow of 75 degrees with a 30% chance of thunderstorms. And a slight chance of thunderstorms on Tuesday night, the low of 58. 20% chance on Wednesday night, mostly clear. 10% on Thursday.
Yep. So it's going down.
Yeah,
through
it's
the
going
week,
down, so
which
it
is a
should be
thing.
good.
So by the time the music festival starts, hopefully those threats of thunderstorms will all be gone.
That is true.
And Murphy's weather. Tuesday, decreasing clouds, actually 92 degrees, which will be it's warm tomorrow.
That's pretty, yeah.
And Tuesday night, mostly clear, a low of 70 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny, a high of 93 degrees. And Wednesday night, clear, a low of 71 degrees. Thursday, sunny at 94 degrees.
And Ed's calling us from cable, so we're
That's
off.
right. So we're off. We're gone.
We're off. And thank you very much
Thank you
for joining us tonight.
And hopefully
we'll see you tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.
Let me go stop this one. Well, Sarah, did you have a good weekend?
I had a good weekend.